General, I am Lieutenant Eva. I will serve as your comm officer for our campaign against the Global Liberation Army. We know the GLA have access to lethal biological weapons, and we have tracked these weapons to Baghdad. Our troops are assembled outside the city and await your orders, sir.
Cab on station. Skies are clear. Radar lock! Break! Break! I'm hit! Off schedule. Anybody see a shoot? Negative. No shoot. Echo Company. Engage. Roger. Target acquired. Enemy in perimeter. Range 200. All units, stand by. Fire at will. I'm hit. Off the left. Got the elevation. Reload. Fire. Target confirmed. Deploy. More contact. Range 300. Fast movement inbound. Line them up.
Enemy perimeter breached. General, we must capture Baghdad and eliminate
Armor
all
detail
GLA
reporting.
forces.
Humvee here. How about a lift? Heavy armor ready for action. On your command. Humvee here. Heavy armor ready for action. Crusader tank responding. Moving in. Got room for 5.
Intel says vital weapons are secured. Prepare for combat for the city at the first sign of evidence.
How about a show of force? How about a lift?
Rocket launch detected. All units, pull back.
General, Washington orders us to enter the mountains and destroy the enemy Scud Storm.
Clearing terrain. On your command. Humvee here. Let's go for it.
Civilian buildings are occupied by enemy.
Armor detail reporting. Crusader tank responding. How about a lift? It should be fun. Got room for 5.
Rangers, enter from
Armor
the room.
detail reporting.
We've been clear.
On your command. Anywhere you say,
here.
sir.
Let's go for it.
Crusader tank responding. Taking target zone.
Whoa!
Cleared the palace. All units, guarantee the advance. Call in the Chinook.
How about a show of force? Crusader tank responding. Armor detail reporting.
Humvee here.
On your command. How about a show of force? Clearing terrain.
How about a lift? Got room for 5. Oh yeah!
Crusader tank responding. On your command. Anywhere you say, sir.
Humvee here. Breaking loose.
Mount perimeter breach. Enemy closing.
Armor detail reporting. Crusader tank responding.
Got room for 5.
Armor detail reporting.
Humvee here.
Enemy tanks have the high ground. Request air support.
Roger. Big Bird on the way.
Heavy armor ready for action. Armor detail reporting. Proceeding to target zone. How about a show of force? Crusader tank responding. How about a show of force? Armor detail reporting. On your
How
command.
about a lift? Got room for 5. Looks like a good
Crusader
run.
tank responding. How about a show of force?
Humvee here.
Armor detail reporting.
How about a lift? Whoa! Got room for 5. Humvee here.
On your command. How about a show of force?
How about a lift? Breaking loose.
Armor detail reporting. How about a show of force?
Got room for 5.
Armor detail reporting. How about a show of force?
How about a lift?
Armor detail reporting.
Got room for 5.
On your command.
Humvee here.
Scud destroyed. Baghdad secure. Congratulations, General. We have tracked terror cell leaders to Al Hanad in Yemen. We believe the leaders behind the biowar attack are hiding in the city. Our Comanches are scouring Al Hanad, searching for these criminals.
Bravo, we reporting enemy contact. Permission to engage.
Enemy contact confirmed. Attack is a go.
Roger that, command. All clear. Engage. Engage. It's all low. Figure one. Break.
Bravo with CLA signal.
I'm interested. Target eliminated.
Go ahead, Bravo 2 down.
Lost him. He went into the alley. Bravo 3 ahead.
All units, we have pilots down. Repeat, pilots down. Scramble, rescue team.
The GLA have
How
captured
about a
the
lift?
pilots. They are held in secret locations around the city. Devise a plan to bring them home, General.
Heavy armor ready for action.
Humvee here.
What's the mission, sir?
USA Armor Division.
What's the mission, sir? What's the mission, sir?
Armor Detail reporting. USA
Heavy
Armor ready
mission,
for
sir.
action.
Colonel Burton here. Where are we going?
What's the
Armor
mission,
detail
sir?
Got room
reporting.
for five.
How about a show of force?
Humvee here.
USA Armor
Break it
Division.
loose.
City's in an uproar. All units proceed with caution.
Armor Detail reporting. How about a show of force?
How about a lift? Keep the change.
Take heavy fire. Exit route is
Heavy
cut.
armor ready for action. Crusader tank responding.
Got room for five.
USA Armor Division. Heavy armor ready for action.
How about a lift? Whoa!
On your command.
GLA forces incoming. Secure the base perimeter. GLA ambush. Get on my way.
Crusader tank responding. On your command. Crusader tank responding.
Got room for five. Humvee here. Oh, yeah.
They're attacking our base!
Heavy armor ready for action. Come in. How about a show of force?
Ready for action.
On the go.
Unit lost. Congratulations, General. You have been promoted.
Thanks for getting me on, sir. Things were getting a little dicey for me.
Good work. This pilot's available for combat duty. You can send him back to base or take advantage of his skills for this mission.
USA Armor Division.
How about a lift? You want some of that?
I have experience.
Got room for five. Break it loose. Whoa!
Flashbangs are ready.
USA Armor
Pilot of
Division.
the USA. Assuming control.
Humvee here. How about a lift? Break it loose.
USA Armor Division. Armor Detail reporting. USA Armor Division. Taking new ground.
Humvee here.
USA Armor Division.
Always prepared.
Scope cleaned and mounted. I'll be your spotter. Should have a good view.
Crusader tank responding. Clearing terrain.
This'll wake them up.
New contact. Sector 3.
Oh, yeah.
Heavy armor ready for action. Armor detail reporting. Crusader tank responding.
Humvee here.
How about a show of force?
How about a lift?
Armor detail reporting.
Got room for five. Let's go for it. Whoa! Humvee here. Oh, yeah.
How about a
Our
show of
base
force?
is being attacked.
I thought that all was gonna break into the compound, sir.
Armor detail reporting. Anywhere you say,
Nice
sir.
job, sir. The final pilot is located up in the hills overlooking the city.
Where do you need me? At the wheel.
Crusader
How
tank
about a
responding. Crusader tank responding.
Whoa!
Crusader tank responding. Taking new ground.
Got room for 5.
Ready for action. Heading out.
Heavy armor ready for action. How about a show of force? Clearing terrain.
This supply file is done.
Armor detail reporting. How about a show of force? Heavy armor ready for action.
How about a lift?
They're attacking our base.
Oh, yeah. Looks like a good run.
What's the story?
Got room for 5. Oh, yeah. Whoa!
On your command. Clearing terrain. How about a show of force? Armor detail reporting.
How about a lift? Oh, yeah.
On your command.
Got room for 5.
USA Armor Division. Heavy armor ready for action. Crusader tank responding. Anywhere you say, sir.
Rocket fire.
Unit lost.
USA Armor Division.
Hang tight. Air support on the way.
I'll scout ahead.
Humvee here. Whoa!
Armor detail reporting. How about a show of force? Crusader tank responding. Heavy armor ready for action.
Unit lost.
Crusader tank responding.
Sniper here. They won't notice me.
On your command. Crusader tank responding. How about a show of force?
How about a lift? Looks like a good run.
Into the Viper's nest. They're swarming us, sir.
Crusader tank responding. Taking new ground.
Cut. Where's that pilot? Watch that right flank.
Heavy armor ready for action. How about a show of force?
Got room for 5.
Heavy armor ready for action.
How about a lift? Keep the change.
General, vital items.
On your command. Moving in.
Orders, General? Sure beats walking.
Heavy armor ready for action.
Got room for 5.
How about a show of force? Clearing terrain. Armor detail reporting. Heavy armor ready for action. Anywhere you say, sir. On your command. Moving in.
Humvee here. Let's go for it.
Armor detail reporting. Proceeding to target zone.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
Heavy armor ready for action. Armor detail reporting.
Got room for 5. Keep the change.
Heavy armor ready for action. How about a show of force?
How about a lift?
I see everything. Getting a better view. Sniper here. On the path.
Crusader tank responding. Heavy armor ready for action. Crusader tank responding.
Got room for 5.
How about a show of force?
Humvee here. Whoa! How about a lift?
Our base is being
You want some of
attacked.
this?
Detail reporting.
Got room for 5. Looks like a good run.
On your command. Proceeding to target zone. USA Armor Division.
Our base is under attack.
Armor detail reporting. On your command.
I'll be your spotter.
USA Armor Division.
Humvee here. Oh, yeah.
How about a show of force?
Got room for 5. Humvee here. How about a lift? Got room for 5. Humvee here. Got room for 5.
On your command. How about a show of force? Heavy armor ready for action. Proceeding to
Humvee
target
here.
zone. How about a show of force?
You are victorious. A U.S. division has been ambushed by the GLA in the Hindu Kush Mountains. Our forces are falling back with the GLA in close pursuit. Take command of a small Comanche base near Salang to cover the retreat. Do your best, General.
Enemy contact confirmed. They're moving in fast. Maintain formation. Right on us. Return fire. Where's our air cover? Alpha 3, report. What's your status? Charlie 3 is down. Someone get those buggies off us. For support. Low range. Doing a solid unit. Keep up the fire. Delta. Stay in formation.
General, USA forces are fleeing through this area. Use Comanches to defend our troops and help them to escape. Destroy as many GLA pursuit vehicles as you can.
Armor detail reporting.
How about a lift? Got room for 5.
Charlie to airbase. The GLA
Army's
right
elite.
behind us. We
On
can
the
sure
go.
use your help.
Special forces here. Rally point confirmed. Ready for action. Search and destroy.
GLA inbound. Take out as many as you can, General.
How about a show of force? Heavy armor ready for action. Clearing terrain. Armor detail reporting.
Humvee here. Breaking loose.
How about a show of force?
How about a lift?
Heavy armor ready for action.
Got room for 5.
In the field. Right here.
Comanche here.
Got my missile launcher right here.
Moving to new AO.
Got my missile launcher right here. Got my missile launcher
Yes,
right
sir.
here.
Nav system set.
Got my missile launcher
Visibility
right
clear. Flying low. Nav system set. Moving to new AO. Visibility clear. Operation underway.
On your command. Proceeding to target zone. Moving in.
Humvee here. Breaking loose.
Thanks for the cover fire. Casualties minimal.
Army's
Moving to the
elite.
rear.
How about a lift? Got room for 5.
Crusader tank responding.
Humvee here. Oh, yeah.
New contact. More of our men
On your
are
command.
inbound, General.
In the field. Moving to new AO. Frequencies open. Nav system set.
Crusader tank responding. Clearing
How about a
terrain.
lift?
Here they come. Open fire. They're moving too fast. Give them everything.
Got room
we've
for
got.
5. Looks like a good run.
Some of the GLA are moving off pursuit to hit our base, sir. We must
Frequencies open.
How about a show of force?
Humvee
Yes,
here.
sir.
Breaking loose.
Comanche here. Yes, sir.
Got room for 5.
In the field. Comanche here.
How about a show of force?
Humvee here. Breaking
Yes,
loose.
sir.
New contact. Get them off it, sir.
On your command.
How about a lift?
Comanche here.
Thanks for the cover fire.
I want to blow
Charlie out.
something up. You bet. Laser guidance ready.
Crusader tank responding.
Humvee here. Got room for 5. How about a lift?
Armor detail reporting.
Another one of our convoys is
How about a
retreating
show of
from the
force?
Got room for 5.
target as best we can.
Heavy armor ready for action.
Humvee here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Here comes trouble.
Crusader tank
How
responding.
about a lift?
In the field.
Let me launch one, huh?
What's the mission, sir?
New construction.
What's the mission, sir? What's the mission, sir? What's the mission, sir? What's the mission, sir? What's the mission, sir?
How about a show of force?
You're off to a good start, sir. 75 still to go.
Gunship reporting in.
Crusader tank responding.
room
Got
for
my
5.
missile launcher
Armor
right here.
detail reporting. How
Got
about
my
a
missile
show of
launcher
force?
right here.
Taking new
How about
ground.
a lift?
Comanche here.
Got my missile launcher right here.
Excellent work, General.
Gunship
Another 50
reporting
to
in.
go.
Got my missile launcher right here.
Yes, sir. In the field.
Got my missile launcher right here.
Flying low.
Got my missile launcher right here.
Comanche here. Gunship reporting in.
How about a
Got room
show of
for five.
force?
Frequencies open.
No more supplies from this source.
Armor detail reporting.
Humvee here.
Gunship reporting in.
More friendlies en route, General. Maintain air cover for our retreating forces.
What's the mission, sir?
Heavy armor
Got
ready
room
for
for
action.
five.
What's
Humvee
the
here.
mission, sir?
Heavy
Gunship
armor ready for
reporting
action.
In the
What's the
field.
mission, sir?
Armor detail reporting.
What's the mission, sir?
On your command.
How about a lift?
What's the
open.
mission, sir?
Comanche here. Air cover's on the way. Gunship reporting in.
Crusader tank responding.
Humvee here.
Yes, sir.
How about a show of force?
How about a lift?
In the field. Gunship reporting in. Frequencies open. Visibility clear. In the field, reporting in. Frequencies open.
Special Forces here.
Hang in there, sir. Another 25 to go. We're almost there, sir. 10 more to go. Great job, General. This was the last of the retreat column. The GLA will be making a final push to
Crusader tank responding.
You are victorious. Despite our losses in Hindu Kush, America is still committed to destroying the GLA. Spy satellites have discovered a major GLA training camp on the coast of the Caspian Sea. The battle is already underway. Good luck, General.
Calling in GLA bunker location at Grid Square Beta Charlie. 6, 8, 9, 4, 4.
For Grid Square Beta Charlie. Stand clear.
Transport team 1 and 2, approaching the landing zone.
All units maintain communication coordinate. Base is on.
This is Team 2. We're taking heavy fire. Bring that air support now. Keep moving.
Unit lost.
Tomahawk launcher armed and ready. Arming cruise missile. Standing by for coordinates.
Need a point man.
Tomahawk launcher armed and ready.
Reinforcements have arrived. Unit lost.
Arming cruise missiles. Cruise missiles ready. Flight systems activated.
How about a show of force?
Missile guidance set.
Where's the extraction
Unit
point?
lost.
Preparing launch cycle.
Unit lost.
Tomahawk launcher armed and ready.
We need to clear out these Stinger sites before we can bring in our bombers to clear the GLA from the area.
Standing by for coordinates.
Armor detail reporting.
Missile guidance set.
On your command.
Tomahawk systems online.
Heavy armor ready for action. Crusader tank responding. How about a show of force?
Tomahawk launcher armed and ready. We can launch from there.
Armor detail reporting. How about a show of force?
Tomahawk systems online. Transporting cruise missile. We can launch from there. Standing by for
Armor detail
coordinates.
reporting.
Cruise missiles ready. Standing by for coordinates.
How about a show of force? This'll wake them up. Armor detail reporting. Crusader tank
Guidance
responding.
set.
Heavy armor ready for
Tomahawk
action.
launcher armed and ready.
How about a show of force?
Tomahawk systems
Armor detail
online.
reporting.
Tomahawk launcher armed and ready.
How about a show of force?
Missile guidance set. Warheads in the field. We can launch from there. Instructions confirmed.
Army's elite. Need a point, man?
Unit lost.
Heading out. Rally point
armor ready
confirmed.
for action.
Special forces here.
Cruise missiles ready.
Take cover.
Standing by for coordinates. Arming cruise
Crusader tank
missiles.
responding. This'll wake them up. Armor detail reporting.
Tomahawk launcher armed and ready.
Unit lost.
On your command.
Tomahawk systems online. Cruise missiles ready. Preparing launch cycle.
Crusader tank responding.
Ready for action. Taking new position.
Heavy armor ready for action.
Tomahawk launcher armed and ready.
Unit lost.
How about a show of force? Light them up.
Congratulations.
On your command.
Point, man.
Crusader tank responding.
Army's elite.
Heavy armor ready for action. Armor detail reporting.
Missile guidance set.
How about a show of force?
Special forces here.
Missiles ready.
Crusader tank responding.
Tomahawk launcher armed and ready. Instructions confirmed. Standing by
Always
for
prepared.
coordinates.
Armor detail reporting.
Unit lost.
Taking new ground.
Missile guidance set.
Despite our losses in Hindu Kush, America is still committed to destroying the GLA. Spy satellites have discovered a major GLA training camp on the coast of the Caspian Sea. The battle is already underway. Good luck, General.
Calling in GLA bunker location at Grid Square Beta Charlie. 68944.
For Grid Square Beta Charlie. Stand clear.
Transport Team 1 2, approaching the landing zone. This is Team 2. We're taking heavy fire. We need that air support now.
Unit lost.
point man.
How about a show of force?
Ready for action. Special forces here.
Standing by for coordinates.
Unit lost.
Crusader tank responding. Armor detail
Ready for
reporting.
action. He's on the target
On your
list.
command. Crusader tank responding.
Need a point man.
We need to clear out these stinger sites before we can bring in our bombers to clear the GLA from the area.
Missile guidance set. Tomahawk launcher armed and ready. Tomahawk systems online. Cruise missiles ready.
On your command.
Always prepared.
Standing by for
Special
coordinates.
forces here.
Missile guidance set.
Heavy armor ready for action. Anywhere you say, sir.
Ready for action.
Cruise missiles ready. Arming cruise missile.
Crusader tank
Need a point
responding.
man.
Standing by for coordinates. Cruise missiles ready. Adjusting for wind current.
Heavy armor ready for action.
Standing by for coordinates. Missile guidance set.
On your command. Moving in.
Tomahawk launcher armed and ready. Cruise missiles ready. Missile guidance set. Arming cruise missile. Tomahawk systems online.
Armor detail reporting. Anywhere you say, sir.
Missile guidance set.
Unit lost.
Tomahawk launcher armed and ready.
Crusader tank responding.
Standing by for
Heavy
coordinates.
armor ready for
Always
action.
prepared.
Missile guidance set.
How about a show of force?
Tomahawk launcher armed and ready. Arming cruise missile. Tomahawk systems online.
Armor detail reporting.
Need a point man.
Missile guidance set. Tomahawk launcher armed and ready.
Always prepared. Take a new position.
Tomahawk systems online. Flight systems activated.
Crusader tank responding. Proceeding to target zone.
Tomahawk launcher armed and ready.
Unit lost.
Tomahawk systems
Heavy armor
online.
ready for action.
Special forces here.
Tomahawk launcher armed and ready. Tomahawk systems online. Flight systems activated. Coordinates received.
Crusader tank responding. Heavy armor ready for action.
Unit lost.
Army's elite. Heading out.
Missile guidance set. Preparing launch cycle.
How about a show of force? Armor detail reporting.
Tomahawk launcher armed and ready.
How about a show of force? On your command.
Tomahawk systems online.
Unit lost.
Crusader tank responding.
Missile guidance set.
On your command.
Tomahawk systems online. Arming cruise missile.
Heavy armor ready for action. Clearing terrain.
Tomahawk launcher armed and ready.
Unit lost.
Standing by for coordinates.
Armor detail reporting.
Ready for action.
Tomahawk launcher armed and ready.
Heavy armor ready for action.
by for coordinates. Cruise missiles ready.
Birds are inbound. This is Alpha Wing. Objective sighted. Bounding run underway. Target zone is cleared. Good hunting, boys.
Construction crews have arrived, sir. You'll need to get our base set up before we're overrun by the GLA. Our final objective is this GLA base here in the hills. Take it out and the operation is complete.
Always ready. Good area. New construction. On the job.
Crusader tank responding. Proceeding to target zone. Armor detail reporting.
Taking new ground.
Missile guidance set. Transporting cruise missile.
Special forces here. Rally point confirmed.
Crusader tank responding. Armor detail reporting.
Army's elite.
How about a show of force?
Any more projects?
Need a point man. Army's elite. Search and destroy.
Tomahawk launcher armed and ready. Missile guidance set.
Clocked in.
On your command. Heavy armor ready for action.
Right here.
Need a point man. Army's elite. Raid in progress.
Got my missile launcher right here.
Unit lost.
Crusader tank responding.
Got my missile launcher right here.
Have a job for me?
Got my missile launcher
How
right
about a
here.
show of force?
Need a point man.
Armor detail reporting.
Got my missile launcher right here. Got my missile launcher right here.
Heavy armor ready for action. Armor detail reporting.
Army's elite. Heading out.
On your command.
Need a point man.
Cruise missiles ready.
Heavy armor ready for action.
Unit lost.
Armor detail reporting. Heavy armor ready for action.
Army's elite. Take the building.
Armor detail reporting. How about a show of force?
Special forces here. Take the new
Tomahawk
position.
systems online.
Unit lost.
Armor detail reporting.
Need a point man.
Standing by for coordinates.
On your command.
Missile guidance set.
Crusader tank responding. How about a show of force?
Always prepared.
Tomahawk systems online. Cruise missiles ready. Tomahawk launcher armed and ready. Tomahawk systems online. We can launch from there. Pilot of the USA.
Unit lost.
Cruise missiles ready. Adjusting for wind current.
Armor detail reporting. Crusader tank
Need a
responding.
point man.
On your command. Proceeding to target zone. How about a show of force?
Standing by for
On your
coordinates.
command.
I'll fire at anything. Here comes trouble. On the trail.
Always prepared.
Armor detail reporting.
Cruise missiles ready. Standing by for coordinates.
Heavy armor ready for action.
Army's elite. Heading out.
Yeah?
Always prepared.
On your command. Anywhere you say.
Tomahawk launcher armed and ready.
Special forces here.
I want to blow something up. Let's pop some tanks. Let me launch one, huh?
How about a show of force? Armor detail reporting.
Ready for action. Always prepared.
Cruise missiles ready.
Let's pop some tanks.
On your command.
Special forces here. On the go.
Tomahawk
Let me
launcher
launch
armed
one,
and ready.
huh?
Missile guidance set. Tomahawk launcher armed and ready.
What's the story?
Crusader tank responding. Heavy armor ready for action.
I'll fire at anything. You bet.
Laying the foundation. Clocked in.
Standing by for coordinates.
On your command. How about a show of force?
Army's elite. Rally point
Cruise
confirmed.
missiles ready.
Let's pop some tanks.
General, our base is under attack.
On your command. Armor detail reporting.
Special forces here. Ready for action. Army's elite. Rally point confirmed.
Standing by for
Pop some
coordinates.
tanks.
How about a show of force? Armor detail reporting.
Need a point man. Heading out.
I want to blow something up.
Tomahawk systems online.
Heavy armor ready for action. Crusader tank responding. On your
Always
command.
prepared.
Cruise missiles
I'll
ready.
fire at anything.
Crusader tank responding.
Taking heavy fire! Sector 2-5! Take cover!
On your command. Clearing terrain.
Special forces here. Taking new
Standing
position.
by for coordinates. Tomahawk systems online. Standing by for coordinates.
Army's
Armor
elite.
detail reporting.
Missile guidance set. Instructions confirmed.
Unit lost.
How about a show of force? Armor detail reporting.
Unit lost.
Tomahawk launcher armed and ready. Standing by for coordinates.
On your command. Heavy armor ready for action.
Unit lost.
Need a point man. On the
Missile
go.
guidance
Let's
set.
pop some tanks.
Armor detail reporting.
Army's elite. Taking new position. Always prepared. Heading out. On the go.
Lost.
On your command. Taking new ground.
Tomahawk systems online.
Heavy armor ready for action. How about a show of force?
Need a point man. Rally point
Missile
confirmed.
guidance set.
I want to blow something up.
Cruise
Unit
missiles
lost.
ready.
Crusader tank responding. Heavy armor ready for action. On your command. Heavy armor ready for action. On your command. Crusader tank responding.
Special Forces here. Take your new
Tomahawk
position.
systems online.
Let me launch one.
Our base is under attack.
You
Unit
bet.
lost.
Here comes trouble. Sure thing.
On your command. Heavy armor ready for action.
Army's elite.
Tomahawk launcher
Need a
armed
point,
and
man?
ready. Missile guidance set.
Unit lost.
Our
Coordinates
base is
received.
being
Let's
attacked.
pop some tanks. Here comes trouble.
Crusader tank responding.
Army's elite. Need a point, man?
Unit lost.
I have experience.
Army's elite. Special
Tomahawk
Forces here.
systems online.
On your command.
Ready for action. Where's the extraction point?
Unit lost. Despite our losses in Hindu Kush, America is still committed to destroying the GLA. Spy satellites have discovered a major GLA training camp on the coast of the Caspian Sea. The battle is already underway. Good luck, General.
Calling in GLA bunker location at Grid Square Beta Charlie. 6, 8, 9, or 4, 4.
For Grid Square Beta Charlie. Stand clear.
Transport beam 1 and 2, approaching the landing zone. This is Team 2. We're taking heavy fire. We need that air support now.
Tomahawk systems online. Cruise missiles ready. Preparing launch cycle.
Unit lost.
Army's elite. Search and destroy.
Heavy armor ready for action.
Tomahawk systems online.
We need to clear out these Stinger sites before we can bring in our bombers to clear the GLA from the area.
Missile guidance set. Flight systems activated.
Need a point, man? Always prepared.
Crusader tank responding. On your command. Armor detail reporting. Proceeding to target zone.
Tomahawk launcher armed and ready. Tomahawk systems online. Standing by for coordinates. Instructions confirmed.
Heavy armor ready for action. Anywhere you say
Ready
so.
for action.
Lost.
Tomahawk launcher armed and ready.
Crusader tank
Need a
responding.
point, man?
Armor detail reporting.
Army's
Tomahawk
elite.
systems online. Cruise missiles ready.
On your command. Proceeding to target zone.
Always prepared. Special Forces here. Ready for action. Search and destroy.
Crusader tank
Tomahawk
responding.
systems online. Instructions confirmed.
Heavy armor ready for action.
Always prepared.
Standing by for coordinates.
How about a show of force?
Missile guidance set. Adjusting for wind current.
Unit lost.
Cruise missiles ready. Missile guidance set.
Heavy armor ready for action.
Standing by for coordinates.
Need a
point, man?
Lost.
Missile guidance set. Tomahawk launcher armed and ready. Missile guidance set.
Heavy armor ready for action.
Tomahawk launcher armed and ready.
Unit lost.
Cruise missiles ready. Missile
Crusader
guidance set.
tank responding.
Cruise missiles ready. Tomahawk launcher armed and ready. Tomahawk systems online.
How about a show of force?
Cruise missiles ready. Standing by for coordinates. Tomahawk launcher armed and ready. Warheads in the field.
Armor detail reporting. On your command.
Always prepared.
Cruise missiles ready. Standing by for coordinates. Tomahawk launcher armed and ready.
How about a show of force?
Tomahawk systems online. Instructions confirmed. Standing by for coordinates. We can launch from there. Tomahawk launcher armed and ready.
Unit lost.
Standing by for coordinates.
Armor detail reporting. Blow them wide open. In my field of fire.
Need a point, man. Take a new position.
Crusader tank
Tomahawk
responding.
systems online. Cruise missiles ready. Tomahawk launcher armed and ready.
Heavy armor ready for action. Crusader tank responding. How about a show of force?
Tomahawk systems online.
Armor detail reporting. Heavy armor ready for action.
Special
Tomahawk
forces
launcher
here.
armed and ready.
Armor detail
Tomahawk
reporting.
systems online. Arming cruise missile. Standing
Ready
by
for
for
action.
coordinates.
Heading out.
Unit lost.
Heavy armor ready for action. Crusader tank responding.
Tomahawk launcher armed and ready. Cruise missiles ready.
Heavy armor ready for action.
Army's elite.
Missile guidance set. Tomahawk launcher armed and ready.
Birds are inbound. This is Alpha Wing. Objective sighted. Bounding run underway. Target zone is cleared. Good hunting, boys.
Construction crews have arrived, sir. You'll need to get our base set up before we're overrun by the GLA. Our final objective is this GLA base here, in the hills. Take it out, and the operation is complete.
How about a show of force? Heavy armor ready for action. Moving in.
Need a point, man. On the
Missile
go.
guidance set. Coordinates received.
Have a job for me. Made in the U.S. of A.
Standing by for coordinates. Instructions confirmed.
Always prepared.
On your command.
Tomahawk systems online. Cruise missiles ready.
Laying the foundation. On the job.
Crusader tank
Tomahawk
responding.
launcher armed and ready. Flight systems activated. Calculating missile speed.
Any more projects?
Heavy armor ready for action. Proceeding to target zone. On your command. Armor detail
That
reporting.
one's done. Yeah. Made in the U.S. of A.
Crusader tank responding. How about a show of force? Heavy armor ready for action. How about a
Army's
show of
elite.
force?
Heading out. All
Heavy armor ready
finished.
for action.
Unit lost.
Need a point, man.
How about a show of force?
Ready for action.
Cruise missiles ready.
Who's covering me?
Armor detail reporting. On your command. Moving in.
Unit lost.
Crusader tank responding. Armor detail reporting. On your command. Crusader tank responding. Heavy armor ready for action.
Unit lost.
Army's elite. Secure and occupied.
Armor detail reporting. On your command.
Missile guidance set. Warheads in the field.
Crusader tank responding. Armor detail reporting. Clearing
Cruise
terrain.
missiles ready.
How about a show of force? Crusader tank responding.
Standing by for coordinates. Cruise missiles ready. Standing by for
Heavy armor ready
coordinates.
for action.
Need a point, man. Man down!
Unit lost.
Ready for action. Special
On your
forces
command.
here. Taking new ground.
How about a show of force? Heavy armor ready for action.
Unit lost.
Laying the foundation. Bring on the scaffolding. Always prepared.
On your command. Crusader tank responding.
Any more new projects? Construction? Going up. Our base is under attack.
Heavy armor ready for action. Armor detail reporting.
Unit lost.
On your command. Armor detail reporting.
Cruise missiles ready.
Got my missile launcher
Flight
right
systems
here.
activated.
On your command.
Got my missile launcher right here.
Any more projects? They're attacking our base.
Got my missile launcher right here. Got
On
my
your
missile
command.
launcher
Anywhere
right
you
here.
say, sir.
Got my missile launcher right here. Yeah? Sure thing.
Cruise missiles ready.
Unit lost.
Need a point, man.
Heavy armor ready for action. How about a show of force?
We're under fire.
I'll fire at anything. Yeah? On the trail.
Unit lost.
Armor detail reporting.
Standing by for coordinates. Instructions confirmed.
On your command. Crusader tank responding.
Ready for action.
Heavy armor ready for action.
Missile guidance set. Cruise missiles ready.
Unit lost.
Armor detail reporting. How about a show of force?
I want to blow something up.
Special forces here. Always prepared.
Heavy armor ready for action. Moving in.
Ready for action.
Armor detail reporting.
Special forces here.
Standing by for
Flashbangs are
coordinates.
ready. Secure and occupied.
On your command.
Unit lost.
Tomahawk systems
Let's pop some
online.
tanks. Enabling laser sights.
Special forces
Tank
here.
responding. Armor detail reporting.
Tomahawk launcher armed and ready.
Here comes trouble. Here comes trouble.
On your command. Anywhere you say, sir. Crusader tank responding.
Unit lost.
Tomahawk systems
I wanna
online.
blow something
Armor
up.
detail reporting. On your command.
Standing by for
Armor
coordinates.
detail reporting. Heavy armor ready for action.
Unit lost.
Cruise missiles ready.
How about a show of force? How about a show of force? Moving in.
Got my missile launcher right here.
Always ready.
Got my missile launcher right here.
Unit lost.
Good area.
Got my missile launcher right
Heavy
here.
armor ready for action.
Got my
Army's
missile
elite.
launcher right here.
How about a show of force?
Got my missile launcher right here.
On your command.
Got
Armor
my
detail
missile
reporting.
launcher right here. Got my missile launcher right here.
Any more projects?
Standing by
Let's
for
pop some
coordinates.
tanks.
Tomahawk launcher armed and ready.
I want to blow something up.
Missile guidance set.
Yeah? You bet. Heading over.
Tomahawk launcher armed and ready.
Let's pop some tanks. Let's pop some tanks. I want to blow something up. Let me launch one, huh? Moving.
On your command. Heavy armor ready for action. On your command. Armor detail reporting.
Missile guidance
I
set.
want to blow something up. You bet.
On your command.
Tomahawk launcher armed and ready. Warheads in the field.
How about a show of force?
Special forces here. Search and destroy.
Heavy armor ready for action.
Standing by for coordinates.
Let me launch one, huh?
How about a show of
Missile
force?
guidance set.
Armor detail reporting.
Tomahawk launcher armed and ready. Adjusting for wind current.
Crusader tank responding. USA armor
Standing by for coordinates. Tomahawk systems online.
Unit lost.
How about a show of
USA
force?
missile
I'll
guidance
fire
set.
at anything. Yeah?
Missile guidance set.
Heavy armor ready for action.
Unit lost.
Ready for action. Special forces here. Rally point confirmed.
I want to blow something up. Here comes trouble.
Unit lost.
Tomahawk launcher armed and ready. Flight systems activated. Standing by for coordinates. Missile guidance set.
Armor detail reporting.
Unit lost.
Standing by for coordinates.
Yeah? Let me launch one, huh? Heading over.
On your command. Heavy armor ready for action.
Unit lost.
Tomahawk launcher armed and ready.
How about a show of force? Moving in. Taking new ground. Moving in. On your command. How about a show of force? Crusader tank responding. Heavy armor ready for action. Taking new ground.
Standing by for coordinates.
Heavy armor ready for action. How about a show of force? Heavy
Tomahawk launcher armed and ready.
Need a point, man?
Let's pop some tanks. I want to blow something up. Heading over.
On your command.
Let me launch one, huh? Moving.
Heavy armor ready for action.
Missile guidance set. Cruise missiles ready.
How about a show
Tomahawk
of force?
launcher armed and ready.
I'll fire at anything.
USA Armor Division.
I want to blow something up. I'll fire at anything.
Unit lost.
Let me launch one, huh?
Missile guidance set. Instructions
How about a
confirmed.
show of force?
Let's pop some tanks. I'll fire at anything.
On your command. Proceeding to
Let's
target
pop
zone.
some tanks.
Standing by for coordinates.
How about a show of force?
I'll fire at anything.
Unit lost.
Army's elite.
Missile guidance set.
Yeah. Keep him busy.
Unit lost.
Made in the U.S. of A.
Heavy armor ready for action.
Always prepared.
Crusader tank responding. Taking new ground. Anywhere you say, sir.
Tomahawk systems online.
How about a show of force?
Army's elite. Arming assault rifle.
Armor detail reporting.
Ready for action. Heading out. Army's elite.
Heavy armor ready for action. On your command. Crusader tank responding. In my field of fire. Heavy armor ready for action.
Need a point, man? Rally point confirmed.
On your command. Proceeding to target zone.
Standing
Any
by
more
for coordinates.
projects?
Tomahawk systems online.
Heavy armor ready for action. Anywhere you
Special
say.
forces here. Army's elite.
On your command. Clearing terrain. Heavy armor ready for action. Armor detail reporting. Lighten them up. Blow them wide open. Armor detail reporting.
Need a point, man? Search and destroy.
Heavy armor ready for action. Proceeding to target zone.
Let's build.
Anything to drive?
How about a show of force?
Find me a vehicle. Fire it up.
New construction. On the job.
Cruise missiles ready.
Special forces here. Any more projects? Army's elite. Heading out.
Tomahawk systems online.
Need a point, man? Army's elite. Search and destroy. On the go.
Armor detail reporting.
Always prepared. Army's elite. Need a point, man?
Tomahawk launcher armed and ready.
Special Forces here. Need a point, man? Heading out.
Heavy armor ready for action.
Army's elite. Have a job for me? Sounds good. Bring on the scaffolding.
Armor detail
Need a
reporting.
point, man? On the go.
Crusader tank responding. Heavy armor ready for action. How about a show of force? Armor detail reporting.
Any more projects?
On your command.
Let's build. Made in the US of A. All finished. What's the mission, sir?
USA Armor Division.
New construction? What's the mission, sir? Good area. What's the mission, sir? What's the
USA
mission,
Armor
sir?
Division. How about a show of force?
What's the mission, sir?
This'll wake them up.
What's the mission,
Crusader
sir?
tank responding.
Tomahawk systems online.
USA Armor Division.
Preparing launch cycle.
What's the mission, sir?
Heavy armor ready for action.
Always prepared. That one's done. Rally point confirmed.
USA Armor Division.
Want to make some improvements? Going up.
Crusader tank responding. Moving in. USA Armor Division. On your command. Clearing terrain. Taking new
Cruise
ground.
missiles ready. Tomahawk launcher armed and ready.
USA Armor Division. Armor detail reporting. On your command.
Ready for action.
You are victorious. United Nations diplomats have agreed to meet with the GLA in Kibara City near the hydroelectric dam. The president believes the GLA cannot be trusted, and we have been placed on standby security alert.
We're live. Sat Recon online. UN negotiator in sight. Secure all sectors. Blue Eagle has arrived. Look sharp. All units move in. Moving under fire at grid 1-3 Beta. Raptor here. I've got tone. Mach 1.
General, the UN envoy has been killed. DMZ
Heavy
is
armor
out.
ready for action.
The GLA are trying to
Crusader
establish
tank
a base
responding.
on the other side of the river. You must
Moving in.
find a way to destroy that
Army's
base.
elite. Take the building. Clocked in. Good area.
Yes, sir. Comanche here. Flying low.
Armor detail reporting.
All finished.
On your command.
USA
Heavy armor ready
division.
for action.
In the field. Visibility clear.
USA Armor Division. What's the
How about
mission,
a
sir?
show of force?
Yes, sir.
USA Armor Division. What's the mission, sir?
Armor detail
What's the
reporting.
mission, sir?
On your command.
What's the mission, sir? USA Armor Division. What's the mission, sir? What's the mission, sir?
Armor detail reporting.
In the field.
USA Armor Division. Always prepared.
Heavy armor ready for
Got my
action.
missile launcher right here.
Proceeding to target zone. Crusader tank responding.
Got my missile launcher right here. Got my missile launcher right here. Got my missile launcher right here.
On your
Got
command.
my missile launcher right here. Got my missile launcher right here.
Special Forces here. On the go.
Heavy armor ready for action. Crusader tank responding.
Comanche here.
Armor detail reporting. Heavy armor ready for action.
Always prepared.
In the field.
Army's elite.
Frequencies open. Yes, sir. Air cover's on the way. Comanche here.
Crusader tank responding. Heavy armor ready for action. How about a show of force? Heavy armor ready for action. T-minus 5. Armor detail reporting.
In the field.
On your command.
Special Forces here.
How about a show of force? Armor detail
Need
reporting.
a point man.
Frequencies open. Comanche here.
On your command. Anywhere you say so. Crusader tank
Always
responding.
prepared. Need a point man.
Heavy armor ready for action.
Army's elite. Search and destroy.
How about a show of force?
Taking the
Yes,
ground.
sir. Search and
On
clear.
your command. Crusader tank responding. On your command. Armor detail reporting.
Always prepared. Special Forces here. Ready for action.
On your command. How about a
Army's
show of
elite.
Comanche here. Flying low. Hose them down.
Crusader tank responding. On your command. Heavy armor ready for action. On your
Always
command.
prepared.
How about a show of force?
Frequencies open.
Armor detail reporting. Let's grease it.
Yes,
Army's
sir.
elite. Ready for action. Targeting target. Need a point man. Special forces here.
Crusader tank responding.
Army's elite.
Heavy armor ready for action.
Excellent work, sir. We now have control of both sides of the river. General, our main base is now cut off from the GLA. I have arranged for Chinooks to bring in dozers. You must try
Armor
to
detail
establish
reporting.
a new base and destroy the GLA before they can commit
Heavy armor
more
ready for action.
atrocities. Our new
Anywhere you
objective
say,
is
sir.
located here on the high
Wanna make
ground
some
next to the
improvements?
dam. The base is ringed with tunnel networks and stinger sites. With both land and air routes covered, you'll need to fight smart. to
Made
break
in the
through.
U.S. of A. Let's build. Any more projects? Want to make some improvements? Going up.
How about a show of force? Armor detail reporting.
Need a point man.
On your command. Clearing terrain. Crusader tank responding.
Ready for action. Need a point man. Army's
Any more
elite.
projects?
Take a new position. Always prepared. Need a point
Armor
man.
detail reporting. Moving in. Heavy armor ready for action.
Ready for action.
Comanche here. Air cover's on the way.
Always ready. Made in the U.S. of A.
How about a show of force?
Army's elite.
Yes, sir.
Armor detail reporting.
Always prepared. On the go.
Comanche here.
All fitted.
Yes, sir.
How about a show of force?
Special forces here.
Command. Crusader tank responding. Armor detail reporting. Proceeding
Ready
to
for
target
action.
zone.
Frequency's open.
Crusader tank responding.
Special forces here.
Armor detail reporting.
Always prepared.
Comanche here. Got their position.
On your command. How about a show of force?
Need a point man.
All clear.
Warning, scud storm detected.
Crusader tank responding.
Unit lost.
How about a show of force?
Special forces here. Always prepared.
On your command. Crusader tank responding. Anywhere you say, sir.
In the
Ready
field.
for action. Always
USA
prepared.
Armor Division.
Frequency's open.
Unit lost.
Comanche here. Moving to new AO. Yes, sir. Nav system set.
Need a point man.
Unit
Army's
lost.
elite. Rally point confirmed.
Heavy armor ready for
USA
action.
always prepared.
Comanche here. Hosing down.
Armor detail reporting.
Special forces here.
In
On
the
your
field.
command.
This supply file is
USA
done.
Armor Division. Crusader tank responding.
Need a point man. Special forces here.
Armor detail reporting.
Frequency's open. Yes, sir.
How about a show of force?
Our base is under attack.
What's the story? Bring on the scaffolding.
Crusader tank responding. Heavy armor ready for action.
Always
On your
prepared.
command.
Special forces here. Rally point confirmed.
In the field. Got you covered.
How about a show of force?
Anything to drive? Assuming control.
Army's elite. Taking new position. Ready for action. Special forces here.
Heavy armor ready for action. How about a show of force?
Ready for action. Search and destroy. Army's elite. Ready for action.
Frequencies open.
Yeah? Good area.
How about a show of force? Anywhere you say, sir.
Always prepared. Special forces here. He's on the target list. Need a point man. Special forces here.
In the field. Frequencies open. Hose them down.
Heavy armor ready for action.
Ready for action. Need a point man. Always prepared. Special forces here.
Crusader tank responding. How about a show of force? Armor detail reporting.
This'll wake them up.
Ready for action. Army's elite. On the go.
Find me a view.
Heavy armor ready for action. How about a show of force?
Comanche here. Yes, sir.
Armor detail reporting. How about a show of force?
Need a point man. Army's elite. Special forces here. Search and destroy. Ready for action.
Crusader tank responding. Armor detail reporting.
Always prepared. Special forces here. Fully engaged.
Frequencies open. Yes, sir. In the field.
Special forces here. Always prepared. Army's elite. Rally point confirmed.
How about a show of force? On your command.
Need a point man. Search and destroy. He's on the target
General,
list.
our base is under attack.
Armor detail reporting.
Providing fire support.
Have a job for me? Making repairs.
Unit lost.
I'll fix her up. Want to make some improvements?
Special forces here. He's on the target list.
Heavy armor ready for action.
Ready for action.
Frequencies open.
Need a point man. Enemy identified.
Our base is under attack.
Deliver an order. Say armor division. Taking new ground. Armor detail reporting. Moving in.
Comanche here. Search and clear.
Always prepared. Need a point man.
Frequencies open. Flying
USA
low.
Armor division.
Comanche here.
On your command. Crusader tank responding. Armor detail reporting. How about a show of force?
Always ready.
Armor detail reporting.
Yes, sir.
Crusader tank responding. Heavy armor ready for action.
Army's elite. Always prepared.
On your command.
In the field. Frequency's open.
Special Forces here.
Armor detail reporting. How about a show of force? Armor detail reporting.
Unit lost.
Comanche here. Frequency's open.
How about a show of force? Crusader tank responding.
Yes, sir.
Heavy armor ready for action.
Point man.
Lock and load.
Crusader tank responding. Heavy armor ready for action. Moving in. Clearing terrain. Taking new ground. USA Armor
Keep it
Division.
safe. Keep the supplies rolling. Establishing supply route.
How about a show of force?
Always prepared. Providing fire support. He's on the target list. Raid in progress.
Comanche here. Yes, sir.
On your command. Blow them wide open.
Army's elite.
In the field.
Heavy armor ready for action.
Lost.
Ready for action. Fully engaged.
Comanche here.
On your command.
Got room for 5. Oh, yeah. Let's go for it.
Armor detail reporting. On your command.
Army's elite. Exploiting
In the
target.
field. Got their position.
How about a show of force? Heavy armor ready for action.
Always prepared.
Nice shot.
Comanche here. Frequency's
On
open.
your command. Heavy armor ready for action. Blow them wide open. Heavy armor ready for
Comanche
action.
here. Yes, sir.
How about a show of force? Proceeding to target zone. Moving in my field of fire.
In the field.
Armor detail reporting. USA Armor Division. How about a show of force?
Army's elite. Ready for action. Raid in progress.
Yes, sir.
Armor detail reporting. On your command. Armor detail reporting. On your command. Crusader tank responding.
Special Forces here.
USA
Frequency's
Armor
open.
Division.
Making a sweep. Search and clear.
On your command.
Ready for action. Army's elite. Heading out. Rally point
How about
confirmed.
a show of force? Blow them wide open.
Yes, sir. Making a sweep.
Armor detail reporting. Anywhere you say, sir.
Special Forces here.
Armor detail reporting. On your command.
Comanche here. Operation underway.
Heavy armor ready for action. Armor detail
Comanche
reporting.
here. In the field.
Crusader tank responding. Heavy armor ready for action. In my field of fire.
Comanche here.
Crusader tank responding.
Army's elite. Need a point man.
Unit lost.
Special Forces here.
Heavy armor ready for action. Crusader tank responding.
Always prepared. On the go. Special Forces here.
How about a show of force?
Ready for action. Army's elite.
Armor detail reporting.
Need a point man. Always prepared. Ready for action. Army's elite. Ready for action. Need a point man. Army's elite. Special Forces here. Ready for action. Need a point, man? Rally point confirmed. Always prepared. Army's elite. Need a point, man?
Yeah? Getting to work. I'll build anywhere.
Bucket up.
Made in the US of A.
Ready for action.
up.
Army's elite. Need a point, man? Ready for action.
Concentrate your fire, man.
Ready for action. Army's elite.
Bucket up.
Unit lost.
Always prepared. Need a point, man? Providing fire support.
Bucket up.
Special forces here. Always prepared.
Bucket up.
On the go. Search and destroy. Special forces here. Heading out.
You're running hot.
Need a point, man?
How about a lift? Bucket up. Looks like a good run. Oh, yeah.
Always prepared. Ready for action. On the go. Army's elite. Need a point, man? Rally point confirmed. Always prepared. Army's elite. Need a point, man? Always prepared. Need a point, man? Always prepared. Army's elite. Providing fire support.
No more supplies from this source.
Need a point, man?
Area secured.
You are victorious.
Orders, General? I'm on my way.
Sir, a rogue Chinese general and his followers have joined with the GLA in their mountain stronghold. The enemy is dug in deep, relying on fortified tunnels. We must launch an attack immediately. The GLA base is surrounded by an intricate tunnel network system. The enemy is close, and their scouts are already patrolling the area. We've outfitted your command center so you can request the fuel air bomb. Use it to wipe out clusters of enemy units or structures.
Want to make some improvements? Bring on the scaffolding. New construction? Made in the U.S. of A.
Crusader tank responding.
General, we should take advantage of the additional supplies to the south.
Clearing terrain.
Any
That
more
one's
projects?
done. Ready for action. Always prepared. Ready for action. Rally point confirmed. What's the mission, sir?
What's the story?
What's the mission,
Good
sir?
area.
Heavy armor ready for action.
What's the mission, sir? Army's elite.
How about a show of force?
Ready for action. What's the mission, sir?
All finished.
What's the mission, sir?
Armor detail
Got my
reporting.
missile launcher right here.
Heavy armor ready
Got
for
my
action.
missile launcher right here.
Clearing terrain.
Got my
Moving in.
missile launcher right here.
Yeah?
Got my missile launcher right here.
Made in the U.S. of A.
Got my missile launcher right here. Got
Wanna
my
make
missile
some
launcher right
improvements?
here.
Bring on the scaffolding.
How about a show of force?
Army's elite. Need a point man. Rally point confirmed.
That one's done.
No
All
power.
finished. Clocked in. Going up.
Army's elite. Special
Armor
forces
detail
here.
reporting.
Our base is being
Always
attacked.
all finished.
Need a point man. Flashbangs are ready.
Heavy armor ready for action. Armor detail reporting.
Want to make some improvements?
How about a show of force? Armor detail reporting. How about a show of force?
Always prepared. Need a point man.
Yeah?
Upgrade complete.
Armor detail reporting. Anywhere you say, sir.
Special forces here. Ready for action.
Be advised, car bombs in the area.
On your command. Proceeding
Unit
to target
lost.
zone.
Buckle up.
Laying the foundation.
Buckle up.
Armor detail reporting.
Buckle up.
Let's build. Let's find a better place.
Buckle up. Buckle up.
Special forces here. Rally point confirmed. Taking new position. Army's elite.
Humvee here. Let's
USA
go
Armor
for
Division.
it. Whoa!
Need a point man.
I want to blow something up on the trail. Here comes trouble.
All finished.
Crusader tank
Ready
responding.
for action.
Heavy armor ready for
Army's
action.
How about a
elite.
lift?
Ready for action. Take a new
Got room
position.
for 5.
Need a point,
On
man?
your command.
Ready for action. Army's elite. Ready for action. Always prepared.
I've seen it all.
Unit lost.
Where are we going? Let's get to the action.
Crusader tank responding.
Humvee here. Looks like a good run.
Heavy armor ready for
Special
action.
forces here. Ready for action.
I'm about to show
How about a lift? Humvee here. How about a lift?
Heavy armor ready for
Army's
action.
elite.
Unit lost.
Special forces here. Army's elite. On the go.
Crusader tank responding.
Special forces here. Ready for action.
Unit lost.
Heavy armor ready for action.
Laying the foundation. Good area.
On your command. How about a show of force?
Army's elite. Special forces here.
Our base is under attack.
Army's elite.
Humvee here.
Need a point, man?
USA Armor
Heading
How
out.
about a lift?
Maintain formation.
Any
No
more
power.
projects?
We've received reports
I'm
that a
hit!
rogue Chinese
I'm hit!
general has set up his base to reinforce the GLA. China's
USA on
officials
your
inform
command.
us that his actions are unsupported. Unit lost. Our
Armor
forces
detail
are
reporting.
taken out. He's no doubt got some heavy equipment.
They're attacking our base.
New construction? Bring on the scaffolding.
USA Armor Division. On your command. Heavy armor ready for action.
Ready for action.
Unit lost.
Special forces here. Ready for action. Army's elite. Always prepared. Special forces here.
Unit lost.
USA
Ready for
Armor
action.
Division. Armor detail
Got
reporting.
range 5. Rip it up! Humvee here. Oh yeah!
Unit lost.
Crusader tank responding. Armor detail reporting. How about a show of force? Crusader tank responding.
Got
Need a
my
point,
missile
man?
launcher right
Got
here.
room for 5.
Army's elite.
Got my missile launcher right here.
Search and destroy.
Heavy
Got
armor
my
ready
missile
for
launcher
action.
right here.
Crusader tank responding.
Keep shooting.
Got my
Proceeding
missile
to target
launcher
zone.
right here.
This'll wake them up.
Got my missile launcher right here.
Lighten them up.
Got my missile launcher right here.
This'll wake them up.
Got my missile launcher right here.
Blow 'em wide open. Put in. Anywhere you say, sir. Taking new ground. Proceeding to target zone. Heavy armor ready
How
for
about a
action.
lift?
On your command. Anywhere you say, sir.
Always ready. New construction? On the job. for me?
Heavy armor ready for action.
Unit lost.
Crusader tank responding. Let's grease them.
Unit lost.
Heading on projects.
Proceeding to target zone.
Always ready. Good area.
How about a show of force?
Unit lost.
Armor detail reporting. On your command.
Any more projects?
Crusader tank responding. How about a show of force? On your command. Heavy armor ready for action. USA Armor Division. Armor detail reporting. On your command. How about a show of force? Proceeding to target zone. Heavy armor ready for
USA
action.
Armor Division.
Unit lost.
Crusader tank responding. Armor detail reporting.
Yeah? Want to make some improvements? Always ready. Getting to work.
On your command. Crusader tank responding. How about a show of force?
Laying the foundation. Clocked in.
Roger. Target acquired.
Armor detail reporting. Anywhere you say so.
Unit lost. Warning. Nuclear missile launched.
Armor detail reporting.
Unit lost. General, you've got to destroy the nuclear missile silo. I don't know if our base can survive another hit. Unit lost.
Laying the
Congratulations,
foundation.
General. You have been promoted.
Made in the US of A.
They're attacking our
Always
base!
ready.
I'll fire at anything. Yeah, you bet.
Any more projects?
Here comes trouble. Let's pop some tanks.
USA Armor Division.
Our base is being attacked! Need a point, man?
USA
Ground
Armor
point confirmed.
USA Armor
Taking new
Division.
position.
I want to
USA
blow
Armor
something
Division.
up. Heading over. Moving.
Low power.
Have a job for me? Sorry, I can't build there.
Always prepared. Heading out.
How about a show of force?
That one's done. Always ready.
Bucket up.
Going up.
Heavy armor ready for action. Proceeding to target zone.
Bucket up. Bucket up.
I'll fire at anything.
Buckle up.
You
Need a
bet.
delivery, General?
Our
fire
base is
at
under
anything.
attack. Army's elite.
Unit lost.
Special forces here.
Buckle up.
Crusader tank responding. Armor detail reporting. Crusader tank responding. On your command. Armor detail reporting.
Need a point, man? On the go.
I'm hit.
Unit lost.
All finished. Always prepare.
On your command. Deliver an ordnance.
Humvee here.
USA Armor Division. How about a show of force? Crusader tank responding. How about a show of force? USA Armor Division.
Let me launch one, huh? Sure thing.
On your command. Armor detail reporting.
I'll fire at anything. Yeah?
USA
Pop
Armor
some
Division.
tanks.
On your command. Armor detail reporting. On your command. Heavy armor ready for action.
I want to blow something up. Let me launch one.
USA Armor Division. How about a show of force? Crusader tank responding. Proceeding to target zone. Armor detail reporting. How about USA Armor Division?
Yeah? Fire it.
On your command. Armor detail reporting. USA Armor Division. How about a show of force? Moving in. Proceeding to target zone. Heavy armor ready for action.
I want to blow something up. Let's pop some tanks. I'll fire at anything. Let's pop some tanks. I want to blow something up. Sure thing.
Low power. Warning, nuclear missile
Buckle
launched.
up.
Watch that right flank. All right, boys, let's go.
Buckle up.
Southern defenses destroyed.
General, you've got to destroy the nuclear missile silo. I don't know if our base can survive another hit. Unit
Buckle up.
lost.
Yeah? I'll fire at anything.
Let's get to work.
Let's pop some tanks. Heading over.
Buckle up.
Letting her go.
How about a show of force? Proceeding to target zone.
Let me launch one, huh? I'll fire at anything. Just like the 4th of July. This'll be fun. Let's pop some tanks. I want to blow
USA
something
Armor
up.
Division.
I want to blow something up. Yeah? This'll be a hit. I want to blow something up. Let me launch one.
USA Armor Division.
What's the story? On the job.
Unit lost.
Yeah?
USA Armor Division.
I'll fire at anything.
Army's elite. Ready for action. Army's elite. Special forces
Clean it
here.
out. All finished.
Need a point, man?
USA Armor
Yeah? Let me launch one. On the trail.
Unit lost.
Yeah? Looks trouble.
Special forces here. Ready for action. Need a point,
Let's
man?
pop some tanks. Yeah?
Ready for action.
Let's pop some tanks. Yeah?
Special forces here.
Got room for 5.
Unit lost.
Breaking loose.
On your command. Lighten them up. Crusader tank responding. Armor detail reporting. This'll wake them up.
I'll fire at anything.
What's the mission, sir?
Let's pop some tanks.
What's the mission, sir?
I want to blow something
What's the
up.
mission, sir?
USA Armor Division.
What's the mission,
Fire it.
sir?
Let me launch one. Huh?
What's the mission, sir?
On your command.
What's the mission, sir?
Armor detail reporting.
USA Armor. What's the mission, sir?
I'll fire at anything.
USA Armor Division.
Yeah? Let's pop some tanks. Let me launch one. Huh? Let's pop some tanks. Yeah? Sure thing.
Heavy armor ready for action. Clearing terrain. Heavy armor ready for action. USA Armor Division.
Let's pop some tanks. Yeah? Letting her go.
How about a show of force? On your command.
I want to
USA
blow
Armor
something up.
Division.
Yeah? Let's pop some tanks.
How about a show of force? On your command. Taking new ground.
Let me launch one. Huh? I'll fire at anything.
Crusader tank responding.
Let's pop some tanks.
Heavy armor ready for
I
action.
want to blow something
Armor
up.
detail reporting.
Let's pop some tanks.
How about a
Unit
show of
lost.
force?
Army's elite.
Let me launch one. Huh?
On your command.
Need a point, man? Always prepared. Taking new position. Heading out.
I want to blow something up. Let's pop some
Armor
tanks.
detail reporting.
I want to blow something up. Let me launch one.
On your command.
Yeah?
Special forces here.
Reload, reload! Come on,
Ready
give me
for
more
action.
dough.
Unit lost.
On the go.
Maintain formation.
Want to make some improvements? Good
What's the
area.
mission,
I want
sir?
to blow something up. I'll fire at anything.
What's the mission, sir?
Let's pop some
Crusader tank
tanks.
What's the
responding.
mission, sir?
Unit
Heavy
lost.
armor ready for action.
Let me launch one.
Special forces here.
I'll fire
What's
at
the
anything.
mission, sir?
Armor detail reporting.
Ready for action. What's the mission,
Army's
sir?
elite.
Providing
I
fire
want to blow
support.
something up.
On your command.
What's the mission, Special sir? forces
Let's
here.
pop some tanks. I want to blow something
Crusader
up.
What's the
tank
mission,
responding.
sir? Army's elite.
All finished.
I'll fire at
Armor
anything.
detail reporting. Armor detail reporting.
Let's pop some tanks.
Unit
I'll
lost.
fire at anything.
On your command.
Always prepared. Exploiting target.
Yeah? Let's pop some tanks.
Crusader tank responding. Heavy armor ready for action.
Need a point, man?
Yeah?
Armor detail reporting. Blow 'em
I'll
right
fire
over.
at anything. Let me launch one. Huh? Want to see a
Crusader
fireball?
tank responding. Taking new ground.
I'll fire at anything. I want to blow something up.
How about a show of force? Taking new ground. Moving in.
I'll fire at anything. Yeah? This
USA heavy armor ready for action. How about a show of force? Crusader tank responding. USA armor.
Some
Heavy
tanks.
armor ready for action.
Ready for action. Heading out.
USA
Anybody
armor.
home?
Let me launch one.
Crusader tank responding. Heavy armor ready for action.
Always prepared.
I want to blow something up. This'll be fun.
How about a show of force?
Special forces here. Providing fire support.
I'll fire at
Armor
anything.
division.
Let me launch one.
Armor detail reporting. USA armor division.
Always prepared. Ready for action.
USA armor division.
We have surrounded the GLA capital. They have biological weapons and we know they will use them. The Chinese have pledged their support for this final assault. We must not fail, General. The world is watching.
Colt to base. Sending intel complete. Roger, Colt. Proceed with target acquisition. Looks like the whole GLA is lining up for us today. Bus is inbound, Colt. Target illumination is needed now. Choice target for the Flyboys is now illuminated. Roger, Colt. Wait for BDA and then RTB. We'll go. Colt to base. Stand by for BDA. Target is burning. Front door is open. Say again, Colt. Colt responds. Colt. This is Colt. Had a close call, but we're all fine here. Returning to base.
How about a show of force?
This is the final push, General. The GLA
Anywhere
is
you
back
say,
into
sir.
their last
Humvee
stronghold.
here.
They have dug into their capital and are ready to fight us for every inch. When you destroy these forces, the war will be over. There is an abandoned Chinese base south of your position, General. The Chinese government has authorized the use of those facilities. One of our rangers can capture them.
Crusader tank responding. Clearing terrain.
Always prepared. Special forces here. Heading out.
Yeah? Let's pop some tanks. I'll fire at anything. Here comes trouble.
Yeah?
New construction. Made in the US of A.
Heavy armor ready for action. Proceeding to target zone.
How about a lift? Looks like a good run. Got room for 5.
Need a point, man? Search and destroy.
Heavy armor ready for action.
Any more
Humvee here.
projects?
How about a lift? Looks like a good run.
Always ready. Going up.
What's the
Got
mission,
room for
sir?
5.
Any more
What's
projects?
the mission, sir? What's the mission, sir? What's the mission, sir? What's the mission, sir? What's the mission, sir? Ready for action. What's the mission, sir? Army's
How
elite.
about a lift? Humvee here.
Special forces here.
Preserving freedom.
Got room for 5. How about a lift? Got room for 5. Humvee here.
Preserving
Oh
freedom.
yeah. Got room for 5.
Army's elite. Always prepared.
Preserving freedom.
Yeah? What's the mission, sir?
Made in the U.S. of
What's the
A.
mission, sir?
Sighted in the mountains. All units, prepare for action.
What's the mission, sir?
How about a lift?
What's the mission, sir? What's the mission, sir?
Any more
Got room for
projects?
5.
Special forces here. What's the mission, sir? Ready for action. Rally point confirmed.
General,
our base is under attack.
Humvee here. Oh yeah. You want some of this? Humvee here. How about a lift? Humvee here.
Hidden identity. I'll be your spotter. I know my way around.
Army's elite.
Sniper here. I know my way around.
Need a point, man?
Hidden identity.
Ready for action.
Always ready. Going up.
I see everything. I'll be your spotter. I see everything. I'll scout ahead. I see everything.
Special forces here.
I'll be your spotter.
Ready for action. Flashbangs are ready.
Hidden identity. I know my way
Warning,
around.
Scud
Need a point, man?
Any more projects?
The GLA has constructed their Scudstorm Unit General. lost. Eliminated before they can fuel the rockets.
I'll be your spotter.
Always prepared. Special forces here.
Hidden identity. Sniper here.
Ready for
I'll be
action.
your spotter.
Special forces here. Grabbing a flashbang.
Sniper here.
Always prepared.
I'll be your spotter. I know my way around.
Need a point, man? They're attacking our base. What's the mission, sir?
Unit lost.
Hidden identity.
What's the mission, sir?
I know my way around.
What's the mission,
Hidden
sir?
identity. They won't notice me.
Army's
Buck it up.
elite. What's the mission, sir? Our base is being attacked! What's the mission, sir?
I know
What's the
my
mission,
way
sir?
around.
Buck it up. How about a lift? Break it loose.
Always prepared.
Sniper
Need
here.
a point, man?
I'll be your spotter.
Buck it
Unit
up.
lost.
Locked in.
Sniper here.
Buck it
Hidden
up.
identity.
They're attacking
Your
our base!
spotter.
Got room for 5. Whoa!
Ready for action.
Buck it up.
On the go.
Hidden identity.
Buck it up.
Unit lost.
I see everything. I know my way
Buck it
around.
up.
Yeah. Good area.
Unit lost.
I'll be your spotter.
Let's build. Always ready. On the job.
Army's elite. Rally point confirmed.
How about a lift? Let's go for it.
Ready for action. Rally point confirmed. Our base is being attacked!
Hidden identity. They won't notice me. I know my way around. I see everything.
That one's done.
I'll be your spotter. I know my way around.
Humvee here. Oh, yeah.
Let's give him an airship.
New construction. Good area.
I see everything. I know my way around. I see everything. I'll be your spotter. Sniper here. I'll be your spotter.
Give him an airship.
Strong anti-air defense atop the wall. You may need to send in ground troops.
Sniper here.
That one's done.
Let's give him an airship. What do you got? Let's give him an airship. I'm listening. Yep. Raptor here. We control the skies. Got you covered.
I know my way around. I'll be your spotter.
Delta plane inbound.
I see everything.
Unit lost.
Echo 1, rolling
Clocked
to hot zone.
in.
Everyone keep your eyes
Sounds
open.
good. Bring on the
Hidden
scaffolding.
identity.
Unit lost.
I know my way around. I'll be your spotter.
Let's give him an airship.
Hidden identity. I see
Unit
everything.
lost.
Can't miss. Sniper here. see everything. Hidden identity.
Cleaning house.
Sniper here. I'll be your spotter.
They're attacking our base.
Around.
Unit lost.
What do you got? I'm listening. Let's take this one.
Have a
Unit
job for
lost.
me. Going up.
Hidden identity. Hidden identity.
Army's elite.
Let's go.
What's the mission, sir? Our base is being attacked. What's the mission, sir?
Projects.
Jumping in.
Let's build.
What's the mission, sir?
Bring on the scaffolding.
USA
What's
Armor
the mission,
Division.
sir? What's the mission, sir?
Keeping busy.
What's the mission, sir?
Raptor here. USA Armor Division.
What's the mission, sir?
Got my missile launcher right here. Got my
USA
missile
Armor
launcher
Division.
right here.
Unit lost.
Got my missile launcher right here.
How about a show of force?
Our base is under attack.
Missile launcher right here.
On your command. USA
How about
Armor
a show
Division.
of force?
Moving in.
Got my missile launcher right here.
On your command.
Always prepared. Need a point, man? Taking new position.
USA Armor Division.
Unit lost.
What's the
What's the
story?
mission, sir?
USA Armor Division.
What's the mission, sir?
Heavy armor ready for action.
What's the mission, sir? Always prepared. Special forces here.
Armor detail reporting.
What's the mission, sir?
Heavy armor ready for action.
Ready for action. What's the mission, sir?
Laying the foundation. On the job.
What's the mission, sir?
Low power.
Army's elite. Search and destroy. What's the mission, sir?
Gunship reporting in.
That
Ready
one's
for
done.
action.
Yeah. Going up.
Gunship reporting in.
What's the mission, sir?
Frequencies open. In the field.
What's the mission, sir?
Moving to new AO.
Always prepared. What's the mission, sir?
Yes, sir.
USA Armor
Air
Division.
cover's on the way.
Our base is being
What's the
attacked.
mission,
sir. What's the mission, sir?
USA
Special
Armor
forces
Division.
here. Need a point, man? Search and destroy.
Unit lost.
Always prepared. Rally point confirmed.
Frequencies open. Moving to new AO. Lying low.
Ready for action. Our base is under attack. Here. Always prepared. Rally point confirmed. Always prepared. Special forces here. Always prepared. Special forces here. Need a point, man? Always prepared. Need a point, man? Taking new position.
Want to make some improvements?
Our base is being attacked. Army's elite. What's the mission, sir? Rally point confirmed. Special forces here. What's the mission? Ready for action. Search and destroy. Army's elite. What's the mission, sir?
Clocked in. Bring on the scaffolding.
What's the mission,
Ready
sir?
for action.
What's the mission, sir?
What's the story? Have a job for me?
USA Armor Division.
Army's elite. Search and destroy.
Ready for action.
Army's elite. Special forces
USA
here.
Armor Division.
Ready for action.
Got my missile launcher right here. Got my missile launcher right here.
On your command.
Got my missile launcher right here.
Clocked in.
Got my missile launcher right here.
Go up.
Army's elite. Always
Got my missile
prepared.
launcher right here.
Yes, sir.
Got my missile launcher right
Moving to
here.
new AO.
Special forces here.
Ready for action.
Need a point man. Anybody home?
Any more projects?
Frequencies open. Comanche here.
Special forces here.
Yes, sir. Flying low.
Ready for action.
In the field. Frequencies open. Comanche here.
Army's elite. Need a point man. On the go.
Unit lost.
Ready for action.
Army's elite. Cleaning house.
Yes, sir. In the field.
Ready for action.
USA Armor Division.
Frequencies open.
USA Armor Division.
Army's elite.
Ready for action.
Army's elite.
Comanche here. We're going
USA
in.
Armor Division.
Unit lost.
USA Armor Division.
Ready for
In
action.
the field.
Special forces here.
USA Armor Division.
Yes, sir.
USA Armor
Visibility
Division.
clear.
Need a point man.
Unit lost.
In the field.
USA Armor Division.
Always prepared. Search and destroy.
Ready for action.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Rocket pods
Always
are now
prepared.
available, sir.
Army's elite.
Unit lost.
Ready for action.
Army's elite. Need a point man. Special forces here.
In the field. Frequencies open.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Visibility clear.
Heavy armor ready for action. How about a show of force?
Comanche here. In the field. Comanche here.
Armor
Search and
detail
clear.
reporting. On your command. Moving in. Crusader tank responding. Heavy armor ready for action. On your command. Moving in.
Yes, sir. Hose them down.
Armor detail reporting. On your command. Taking new ground.
What's the mission, sir?
Crusader
What's the
tank
mission,
responding. Armor detail reporting.
Exterminator has
Comanche
arrived.
here.
What's the mission, sir?
Yes, sir. In the field.
On your command.
What's the mission, sir?
Frequencies open.
Crusader
Preserving
tank responding.
freedom.
How about it?
What's the mission, sir?
On your
Clean
command.
it house.
Comanche here.
What's the mission, sir?
Heavy armor ready for action.
What's the mission, sir?
Yes, sir.
Armor
Operation
detail
underway.
reporting. In my field of fire.
Comanche here.
How about a show of force?
In the field.
Armor detail reporting. On your command.
Behold.
Crusader tank responding. Armor detail reporting. On your command.
Frequencies open.
Unit
In the
lost.
field.
How about a show of force?
Preserving freedom.
Armor detail reporting. How about a show of force?
Protecting our people.
Need a point, man? Search and destroy.
Heavy armor ready for action. How about a show of force? On your command.
USA Armor Division.
Yes, sir. Operation
Crusader
underway.
tank responding.
Taking new ground.
Ready for action.
USA
Always
Armor
prepared.
Division.
Special Forces here. Rally point confirmed. On the go. Heading out. Always prepared. Rally point
Comanche
confirmed.
USA Armor Division.
Got you
Armor
covered.
detail reporting. Heavy armor ready for action.
Terminator has arrived.
Objective complete.
On your command. Clearing
You are
terrain.
victorious.
Crusader tank responding.